Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of ABS. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Once again, if you're new on this channel, go ahead, click on that subscribe button. Also, don't be scared to share with your friends, and also add us on Instagram, MinaTV Africa. Follow the show. The show also has its own Instagram handle. Go ahead and follow that, the ABS show. You know, we always bring you the good stuff. But today, what we have is not too good, because it's really a heavy subject.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys are ready for it. Okay, so let's dig in right into it. A jury on last Thursday, recommended that, oh my God, this story is crazy. The death penalty for an Oklahoma man convinced of beheading a coworker. So basically what happened is this man, his name is, if I'm getting it right, Alton Nolan?
Yes.
Yes, okay, he's 33 years old, and he beheaded his coworker. So he attacked two people, and they basically gave him, on one account, gave him 130 years in prison, and also with the other attack, which is the beheading of the other coworker, they are recommended that they give him death penalty. What do you guys think about this whole case, this whole story?
Well, from the beginning, he did say that he wanted to plead guilty for everything, actually, from the very beginning. But the judge didn't struck it down because she didn't think it was, or the judge didn't think he was competent. And then, look, I don't feel bad that he's getting death penalty. I actually think we need to kill people faster on the death penalty. Like, they're staying way too long on death row, and if you're there and it's confirmed and we have video and it's clear, let's just roll it on. Let's keep it moving.
So by saying that, what you are basically saying is that you agree with an eye for an eye. Basically, if somebody kills somebody, they need to be killed. Yeah. Is that what you're saying?
I do.
Okay, and all right. Okay, that was very harsh.
Well, it's harsh, but it's life. You killed somebody else. I mean, let's just keep it moving. Like, you know, you. That's not bad.
But if an eye for an eye, everybody
would be blind. Well, let's be blind.
Yeah.
And all these people need to be moved along on death's row. As of now, I think in 2013, I think there was like 2,679 people on death row.
Wow.
And it's like, that's how many people were on death row.
Yeah, in America?
And of course in the United States. And then they only executed 31 because it takes a lot. The thing is, you're on death row. That's already sad. We're already spending a lot of money, as in taxpayers are spending a lot of money to house you. It's like a whole business. So let's just keep moving. You're on death row. You're about to die. Let's roll. Let's make it quicker, actually.
So do you think it should only happen when you kill somebody?
Yeah.
Or extreme?
Or this is an extreme case, though.
I'm just looking at you as you talk, and your makeup is just so beautiful. Like, I know we're talking about something serious. I know, but I just have to say that it's just so beautiful.
Yes.
Go ahead. Yeah.
The makeup artist, Mate, did a fantastic job.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. So with the death penalty, do you think that it should only happen to people that kill other people and then they should get death penalty, or extreme cases?
I think to me is an extreme case, because the thing is with this guy, he was let go or he resigned. There was some issue at work. He was suspended.
Came back
and attacked two innocent coworkers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right now, what's happening in the United States is this group violence. People just come back and attack all these people who have nothing to do with nothing. All those people, if you attack people who get, the guy who struck down the people in the crowd for protesting, all these bombers, all these people who go into libraries and shoot people, all of these people who are going into crowds and shoot people, all of these people who are coming into work and killing your coworkers, we have you on video. Death penalty. Let's roll it along. Kill this person in 2 years. I don't want to see them anymore. This guy's going to be in jail for like 20 years.
Hold on. What I feel about the whole death penalty thing is that it's a little too harsh, and I'm going to explain why. Because let me finish my point, because I'm going to lose it. Juries, they can make a mistake. We've seen several cases where they come to a strong decision, and then later on we find out that it was a mistake. They make mistakes all the time, because if one jury says no, the whole thing is a no. If one, so they have to be careful of sentencing somebody death. What if, let's just say this, what if this guy is innocent? What are you going to do? Bring him back? He's already dead. No, but I'm saying there have been cases where the person ends up being innocent, and then the person's already dead.
It's very sad.
So I think the whole death penalty is very extreme. Yes, and I understand that they can lock everybody up because the jails are full. Like,
I know.
So many people in jail is ridiculous.
It's crazy.
And so I think there should be other ways to punish them than death penalty. That's my whole thing on this.
When I read this, I had a couple of questions, number one. And the first question I want to know is who's on that jury that the jury is recommending the death penalty?
Because he's a black man.
That's the first question, because he's a black man, number one. Number two, we're not God. We didn't create human beings. So I don't believe in, personally, an eye for an eye. However, I do believe that every situation is different. And in some situations, it makes sense for death penalty. In this situation, you can tell that this guy has mental issues. And
how can you tell the guy has mental issues?
From the articles that I read, it said that he was mental, not from the picture, from what I read online.
I think they based that on that because when they asked him, do you regret what you did? He said no. So then people are saying that maybe there's something wrong with you.
No, but I think before, because lawyers have said that the judge has said he's not mentally stable. So I think before they say that or before they write that in an article, they actually have you evaluated by doctors and by shrinks. And so the court is not just going to get up and call you mentally. Like, I can't kill you and just go and then say I'm mentally ill.
Why does it always go there, though?
My train of thought, because unfortunately there really are people that are unstable, and there's sometimes things happen, traumatic things can happen in people's life that can take certain things off in their head, and it doesn't make them normal. Like for him to even say that he doesn't regret it, that just goes to show that he's not stable. 3, I don't understand how this jury is recommending the death penalty for this guy, and you have people raping 3-year-old kids, 3-month-old babies, and those people are not getting death penalty. If you're gonna give this guy death penalty,
this guy okay. He went into work, stabbed people so hard their head came off of their body.
We get that.
Okay, I get that, but can you also imagine an innocent 1-year-old baby who doesn't know, like if anyone has ever been around a 1-year-old child, slap the 1-year-old child, kick the 1-year-old child, and then pull out a toy. The 1-year-old child immediately runs to you because they see the toy.
Yeah, they're babies.
They don't even realize that this person just hurt me, because that's how much their brain is not developed. So in my opinion, anyone that does any sort of harm to anyone like that, you should be killed instantly. Like, I mean, I don't even think that we should even trial you. We shouldn't even take you to court, because we're talking about somebody who's not even old enough to realize that 3 single-dollar bills is less than $100 bill.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
I do understand what you're saying.
So if we're gonna just get up and we're just gonna be given
the thing is,
death penalty to people, then all these molesters that are in jail, that are being re-released, and some of them are like ending up working with kids, living in areas where kids are, those people should be getting death penalty as well.
No.
Okay, so the thing is, I definitely agree with Yazzie. I've definitely thought that about pedophiles, because they can't be controlled. Like, unless they go under, in my opinion, unless you are doing a sterilization, it's very clear that chemical sterilization they do to some people, then, I mean, I just think that in certain cases, okay, so let me go back. The reason that the jury is recommending death penalty is because death penalty is available in the state. You have to recognize too that certain states some things are not available. Yeah. So some states where we think it's been unfair, like the child molesters or people who hurt children or abuse children or abuse elderly, or some things are not available in that state because the state either didn't think it was important or it never really came up. Because there are some things that are happening now that never came up before.
But you know that it goes back to slavery too, because runaway slaves used to be hanged. Why are you running? Kuta Kinte, why are you running? So you know what I'm saying? It's like people get killed because they commit certain crimes. Yeah. But right now the topic should it be available, or should it be like a law where there's death penalty?
I don't believe in life.
Let me come in here, because to me, I just feel like death penalty generally should not be a part of judgment. I feel life sentence is okay, because you're putting fellow humans like you're giving them the power to decide whether you should leave or not. I mean, that's what the law is all about, right? But I just feel like this guy, they said that he has a mental problem, which we're not sure about. I think we should also focus on something about his background, his religious background. Because when I read the article, they said
it mentions that too.
Yes, they said something about him being Muslim. And another article talked about him trying to convert some people and take things into his hands.
He feels like
he was laid off. He said he was laid off. And so because they said whatever he did had something to do with his religious background.
Okay,
did you guys see anything like that?
When people talk about that, I don't care what religion you are. There is no religion in the entire world where God is like, oh yeah, you know what? If you get laid off, go to work and stab people. So just because he said he's a Muslim doesn't mean anything. Has nothing to do with this crime. There are plenty of Christians who kill people. What are you talking about?
Can I explain something to you?
In the Islamic community,
do you know that the Islamic community, the extremists, there are some of them that they teach them about the law, about killing people,
and they believe in going heaven,
who don't want to convert or who don't want to be part of them. There's something they call, they even teach them about the jihad. They call it the holy war. That when you kill several people, you have 70-something virgins in heaven waiting for you.
Yes.
So maybe he's in a hurry to die. He wants to go meet those virgins because they'll tell them that they are martyrs. Okay. So they teach them that.
No. Let's go back. Because even in Nigeria, let's talk about the Boko Haram for 1 second, even though it has nothing to do with this case. Boko Haram, do you know what the military did? Every single time they would invade a Boko Haram, I'm talking about Nigerian military as they fought the Boko Haram, they would win certain things and collect the boys. They asked them, can you talk about the Quran? They did this. This is a true story. You can look this up. They asked him, can you say actually one phrase from the Quran?
And they couldn't?
They couldn't. They couldn't say one phrase other than that stupid virgin one. No. You have to take the Bible, every religious book into context. So when people focus on people's religions, let's completely remove that. That has nothing to do with this.
Their action is based on that.
Do you know there are people who killed black people in the United States saying it's a work of God? Just because you say it doesn't make it true. It has nothing to do with your religion.
And I just want to make this clear too, that on this article that I'm reading from foxnews.com, it says here that he walked into the company's administrative office and attacked his co-workers. Like he worked at a plant. Do you get what I mean? So he didn't just work in like any random place. He walked into the administrative office. I'm thinking administrative means people that would fire you. Administrative people are like, they run everything, you know? And he said he doesn't regret it because the oppressors, this means that, like, who knows what he was going through at work? Maybe they were bullying. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he shouldn't even been fired.
Give an excuse for that.
I'm not giving him an excuse for killing, but I'm just saying what might have triggered in his head. What you know?
They say he made mention of the fact that the lady does not deserve to. She's an oppressor. He called her an oppressor. That's what it means. So maybe she was trying to antagonize him and stuff.
Or maybe she was just representing the company and
maybe. Okay, we weren't there. We don't know, but for him to use these words for this lady and attack her in this way, it means that in his head, this lady affected his job. This lady probably fired him for no reason.
Which means he's sane.
Yeah.
So you get my point. So he knew what he was doing.
He says he wants the death penalty, as Ivy said.
This all goes
Let
back.
him die.
This all goes back to what
quickly.
Let him die.
This is what goes back to what he has been taught, what he has been he's learned in the mosque or growing up. People do believe it.
The people that ran down the car, the guy who was in the car who ran down people, was he Muslim or what religion was he?
No, I think we really need to be careful when we keep,
the white guy who was in Carolina.
He was high.
No, he was not. He was a white supremacist.
He was a white supremacist who wanted to kill other people. What do you guys? There are plenty of Muslim people who have nothing to do with violence.
We're not saying it's a religious thing, but you can't just cancel it out totally and say it has nothing to do with it.
No, but you see the words that this is clearly, in my opinion.
They do believe it. They'll back it up with the Quran and tell you that, hey, what happened 9/11?
Exactly, what happened 9/11? Those people had their own teachings.
They believe that it's supposed to happen because they believe that those people that did that are going straight to heaven.
I think you should be very careful, like just bringing up the Muslim term in here. You know, you guys have to, because we're living in a time where terrorism is real. We're living in a time where racism is real. We're living in a time where people are just killing other people for being white, black, and just be careful. Exactly. This in this situation doesn't really seem to be a case.
Don't put it out there that we are making it seem like Muslim. No.
Because I haven't read any article that talks about him
being Muslim.
No, that talks about him being, because he killed them because of Islam. Like, I haven't read anything. Everything that I've read says that he killed them because he got fired and he felt like he was being oppressed by these people.
Okay, so read it
and
again.
he went back for revenge.
It's on Fox News as well, so read it again.
I never said that they didn't say he was Muslim, but they never said that he believed that he did the killing for Islam. It doesn't say that in the article, what I've read. You can read it. If you have something else that says that, you could read it. Do you?
But do you know that one of the rituals of the ISIS, right, is beheading? Have you seen those videos
They're
where
just
they always
talking as if we're the one
people,
preaching. We're not preaching.
You
gotta
gotta think like,
come
why?
on.
Have you seen those videos where they put people in front of a camera, they cover their head, and then they behead them? It's like a normal ritual. That's the ISIS method of execution. So you need to think sometimes. You need to put all the dimensions to this story.
The reason that they said that this was beheading is because he stabbed her so much that her head was severed from her body, not because he was actually went out of her neck.
Like behead.
Exactly. Exactly. How could he? He would have needed a sword or something. That's what I'm saying. Let's be careful. The reason that I'm irritated by you guys mentioning his religion is because right now in the media, people are using religion as, oh, these people are this culture and this religion. That's why they attacked us. But they're ignoring the fact that all these white dudes who are Christian, who go to church with you, are running down people in cars, are killing black people. There is place. So that's what I'm saying.
Listen,
remove the religion.
I'm not talking about religion. I didn't bring religion up.
You.
The article brought religion up. That's why I brought it up.
The religion had one sentence.
No, but so
can I read another
mentioned
from
it.
New
so
York,
can we
New
talk
York
about
Post?
that part as well?
Yeah.
It mentioned it.
So I don't want you to associate that with his violence.
We're not associating nothing. He mentioned it. That's why I'm also bringing it up, because it is a conversation that people need to have. That's why we're mentioning it. And he's not the first time. He's not the only person that, we heard something that is related to Islamic or Muslim. No, there's been a lot of examples there. That's why I brought it up. I'm not mentioning it. It was said that they believe that he did this because of his misinterpretation of the Quran. So they brought it up. That's why I'm bringing it up. I don't have anything against whatever. I'm a Muslim. My grandfather was a Muslim. We converted to Christianity. So I'm not bringing that up to say anything like that. So I don't want you guys to paint the picture as if I'm going against Islamic or Muslim.
Islamic
no,
religion.
I brought it up because the article brought it up.
I'm glad that you mentioned that, though.
Yeah, my grandfather is a Muslim. My grandfather is a Muslim. My father
I feel like this is an attack against Muslims right now.
No, it's not at all.
Even though I'm not Muslim,
it's not at
I just
all.
feel like there's an epic attack going on.
No, from who? Not from me.
That's what I got from what T Money was saying.
No, T Money was explaining.
I talked about extremists.
Yes, that's what T Money was saying.
In Christianity, we call some fanatics. In Muslim, we call some extremists.
Thank you.
Those are the people that even go beyond what is written and begin to teach their own from the part they want to teach. And they start telling you that certain things you do are right. You have to kill for what you believe in and stuff like that.
They do believe in that.
Extremists.
How come the Christian ones are called fanatics and then the Muslim ones are called extremists? Already the word is just so negative. It's kind of like when you look in the dictionary. Just let me finish my train of thought. It's kind of like when you look in the dictionary and you look up the definition of black and you look up the definition of white. Black in the dictionary, you'll see dirty. Like automatically black is attached to something bad already. You look at white, it's pure heaven. It's the same thing with the word fanatic and extremist. No, I am not a Muslim. I do have family members that are Muslim, but I am not a Muslim. But at the same time, right is right and wrong is right. And it just seems so strange that these words are all of a sudden used. And then every time a black man...
Holy Bible and call it Holy Quran? Why don't you call both of them Bible? His names.
Every time a black man does something or a person that's non-white does something, the media and other people always try to find a way to link it with terrorists, this, that. But when a white man does something, it's never linked to Islam. It's always linked to he's sick, he's mental, he needs help, he needs that. But for the black person, it's always like they're violent, they're this. Oh, it's how they were raised. It's how, like, I'm not a part
of the black extremist
what this man did is completely wrong.
Yeah,
I will never. I think he's mental. So my personal opinion.
Every one of us agree to the fact that what he did was wrong. Nobody's arguing with that he did wrong.
We're just trying to analyze
exactly, you guys are going somewhere.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But he brought up the Muslim thing. So when because
the article brought it up.
Okay,
so let's move on from that.
So he said it, and then I said my opinion, and then Ivy said her opinion as well. There's nothing wrong with that. It was brought up, and everybody has said their opinion about it. You said it, I said it, and Ivy said it as well. There's nothing wrong with that.
What do you guys think about the death penalty?
That's what I wanted to talk about.
What I also have to think about and bring is that the prison system in America is a business. Yeah. It really is a business. Yes. A lot of prisons are like privately owned, some also owned by the state. And believe it or not, a judge in Pennsylvania was recently jailed because he was sending all black boys in Philadelphia to a private jail because he was being paid backdoor by the private jail. So you do something small, 15-year-old kid like breaks into a car or something, 2 years in jail.
Are you serious?
Bang, so we have to think about this. If this guy is saying he's proud of what he did, and if an eye for an eye is an eye for an eye, and if the jury is recommending death penalty, then why are they not giving him the death penalty? They should just give him the death penalty.
It was on 2 counts. Yeah. He tried to kill another person. So that one, they gave him 130 years in jail. Yeah. And for the killing, if he survives that 130 years in jail, he's going to face death penalty. So it goes back.
Wow.
Yes. So
but we all know he's not going to live for 130 years. So you might as well just throw him on the death penalty.
But to go back to what you were saying, that why won't you just put them in jail? Goes back to what she's saying. They're making profits over that. The taxpayer, we are paying for
everything,
the prison as well.
It's very expensive.
It's very, very expensive. So does that mean that we should still have the death penalty though, and just kill them off like you were saying?
But that sounds cruel.
Yeah, it did sound cruel, like just kill them off.
But fact.
That's why I raised the idea of, listen, they can be wrong. So let's put this aside. Death penalty, okay, somebody gets death penalty for doing this, for killing, for doing this. But you can be wrong.
It's true.
You can be wrong. The guy that was sentenced to jail, they had a whole documentary about him.
On Netflix.
On is it on Netflix or was it on TV? Jay-Z produced that.
Khalif Brawler,
yeah. Sent to jail, went through a whole lot, and guess what?
And he never even got to trial. He was just being held.
He was innocent.
And he was innocent for the crime.
Because
and
his mother couldn't make the bail.
And his mother, unfortunately, couldn't make like a $3,000 bail.
Exactly. Wow. So for a simple mistake like this, let's say he was given the death penalty.
And because of and he got out. He eventually got out. But because of oh God, I have goosebumps. Because of everything that he goes through in the jail, what we fail to realize is that, let's be honest, if we're talking about jail is modern day American slavery. Yeah. Let's just be honest. Because when you think about it, like Charlie said, a lot of these crimes that people are committing, they should get some type of help. As you said, if a man is abusing a 3-year-old girl, him serving 10 years in jail is not gonna take away those feelings of abusing 3-year-old girls. He's just gonna end up doing. That person needs treatment, like you said.
Who's paying for that treatment?
No.
Yeah, but we're still paying for the jail.
We're still paying for the jail, and it actually is cheaper. The only other country that has more people in jail than us is Russia. So every other developed world finds a way to somehow get their people involved in the community. They actually rehabilitate. They rehabilitate people, and that's actually real. I actually do believe in that. Not for him, but for other people.
But why not for him?
He beheaded people. He killed a person and then beheaded another. Send this mofo on his way to his final destination. I don't care.
Final destination for
final flights.
But final flight. But
so you don't believe that he's home, right? He's home, and then something triggered him to take a knife, go and kill somebody.
No, I believe
Isn't that a problem as well that needs to be treated?
It's a problem.
And what you are saying that what needs to be done is just kill him off?
Yeah.
How does that help the next person?
It helps people when he gets out of jail, if he ever gets, well, he won't actually, that they won't be attacked. Because you have to think, a lot of people who go to jail.
How does it help the next person that maybe is going through the same?
Oh, we're going to catch him before they get to this level. I'm sorry, I feel no pity.
No.
I sent him on his final destination. But I'm saying other people, let's say burglary, robbery. I'm talking about normal crimes, okay? Burglary, robbery, things that have nothing to do with sexual assault. Just I don't know, assault.
You know that emotional and psychological oppression can trigger you to become suicidal.
Yeah, he's probably going to commit suicide.
And that's what I feel like happened with him.
The reason why he did what he did.
If he was feeling suicidal, then he should have killed himself, not killed other people.
He probably had the plan to do that, and he probably got arrested before.
Video game. No, it's not video game.
I think it is a video game.
What he should have done.
He came into work and kills people and beheaded somebody. He needs to die.
Charlie was saying something about, isn't there another way to fix this? So that the next person who finds himself in an emotional or psychological or work oppression will know that, okay, maybe I should go see a therapist and tell them what I'm going through in my place of work, instead of me to just, because...
What do you think, though? So how do you think
I don't believe in what was he given? Death penalty. I said I don't believe in death penalty.
So what do you think he should have received?
Received? Life sentence. That's what I said.
Okay, but how do you help somebody like that, though? Who came into work and killed people?
Since he killed people and all that, when they put you in the prison, they don't just leave you there to be in the prison. A lot of things happen. Some of them they put them in like in South Africa, they call it correction center, just like the rehabilitation center. It's also prison.
That's what they call the jail there too. They call them correction centers, except they don't correct them there. They just treat them like slaves.
I don't know. I'm getting this right, but I think what Ivy's saying is, okay, let's help this person, but he's not coming out. No. He said she was asking you, okay, how are we going to help this person?
Correction center.
Okay, for what though? You're not coming out. So we're preparing you for what? Basically, we are preparing for you to come out in the real world and mingle with us. You're not coming out.
No. That's why I said life sentence. Because I know it's money. It's costing the government and people's money. So you're suggesting we should kill him?
No, I'm just trying to see both sides. I'm just trying to see both sides.
To me, I don't believe in death sentence. That's what I'm just saying.
But then you believe in you believe in the correction center, whatever.
Yes.
For what?
Some people, some people have come out of correction centers.
What were the crimes, though? What were the crimes? Did they kill people?
I don't know if it's...
Exactly. We have to quantify.
So what Ivy is saying is that he should get a death penalty. And what T is saying is that I don't believe in death penalty, so he should get life in jail. And what Charlie is saying is, even if he gets life in jail, he's never ever coming out. So what are we correcting? Like, we're correcting him for what? What are we preparing him for? We're not preparing him for the world because he's never ever coming out.
Because I'm sure when they put those people in the correction center, they're preparing them for them to come back out. And
they're trying to make them see life in a different light and value life. There are people who are not even given life sentence and they still die in the prison anyways. You know? But I just believe that he should still be alive wherever he is in the prison.
Well, this is how I think.
Let God take
handle that. The Holy Spirit
because it goes back to religion again. It's like you don't believe in somebody killing somebody, but the death penalty is you killing somebody.
Yeah.
Do you understand where it's going?
No. Yeah. I don't believe that a vigilante should go out and just kill somebody. However, it's been done. So let's kill you. Like, I'm just like, let's wrap it up. Let's move you on. Like, move you on. You know how expensive it is to keep an inmate? This dude is never coming out. I do believe, though, in rehabilitation, and I believe that for other crimes that have stemmed from, because people have grown up, as we know, in terrible areas. Terrible areas. No, and then they come out of jail, let's say they go to jail for robbery or something. They come out of jail and they go back to those terrible areas. And then they get trapped in that circle. I believe in rehabilitation and helping people move them to somewhere else, help them develop a life, because I do believe in that. I do believe we can do that. But not for him.
The thing, and even if the thing in America is our jail system here in America is not built to correct anyone. Exactly. They're called correctional facilities, but they do not correct anyone. And that's the reason why our crime rate is high. And I believe that they even want it to be that way because, again, as I keep saying, they want to make money from it. Because ideally, like, if it made sense, someone that's spending life in jail, why should I be using my tax dollars to cover that person? Why not put that person to work? Why not have that person picking up garbage, cleaning cars, and make them...
They do that, though.
Okay,
it's part of the correction center.
And then instead of you paying them, use that money to pay for the prison.
They do that, though.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you listen to Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club the other day, Charlemagne was given Donkey of the Day to a CEO at a correctional facility who doesn't want people to get out of the jail because he uses them to wash his car and like it was he gave, like, basically the jail is modern day slavery. That some of the CEOs take some of the prisoners out of the jails and take them to go do whatever they want to do with them. There was another story about a girl whose brother went to jail for murder, and he's been in jail for like 20 years, and she's only been able to see her brother once. And every time they try to see the brother, they're given some sort of reason why
he's still alive.
That was why the thing made, like, it was a big deal, because it's like, is he even like, they have not heard from him. But this just goes back to the problem is, like, the whole correctional facility, like, all of this, it's a system. Because if he wants the death penalty, give him the death penalty. Why are we keeping him alive? For what? For him to come and behead somebody else?
Okay, so Ivy, so I have a question for you. So you're saying, okay, kill him, right? Would it make you feel any better of the way they do kill them? Do you prefer like a lethal injection? Do you prefer lethal injection? Do you prefer hanging or electric chair? What would make you feel better in this case? What's
your suggestion? If you were in the jury, what would you?
He can choose whatever's in the state, but he needs to die.
He can choose a peaceful one.
If you believe in an eye for an eye, not that I do, then he should go out the same way his victim went out.
Oh my God!
No, I'm just. That's why this whole system makes no sense. Because if you're going to say an eye for an eye, it really should be an eye for an eye. It shouldn't be an eye for an arm or an eye for a leg. He should go out the same way.
What peaceful?
Which is not even fair.
Injection, you just sleep and you don't sleep.
Okay, that's fine. Die.
Which is what? Yeah, but when you think about it, it's not fair, Ivy.
It's not fair.
It's not fair, because if I get stabbed to death, that means that I felt it.
You felt the pain.
I felt the shock. Like I saw the person like I saw all of that.
You see your life walking away from you slowly.
So it's not fair that he doesn't get to feel the same thing. If we're going to do an eye for an eye, then it should be exactly an eye for an eye.
But you have to think about, first of all, you think who is going to be doing that? Because you know a lot
Isn't that what the cops are trained for? Cops get up. Cops are getting up.
But you know they feel bad afterwards.
Cops are shooting unarmed black men in front of their 4-year-old daughters with their wives in the car, and you're telling me that they can't stab up a criminal?
Come on.
So do you think
like no, you guys
you're saying it's too much. So you're saying it's too much. So they should pick how they. I think they do. They pick however they want to.
I think the state chooses,
or the state, whatever the state does.
You do. They'll give you the options. I think.
I don't think we have beheadings anymore. I don't think
that's beheaded.
That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying that this whole correctional system, it does not work. I don't believe in it. It makes absolutely no sense. It is just another way, in my opinion, for the government to raise taxes, make more money for people that own prisons to make. I mean, just imagine that a prison owner is paying a judge to send black boys to his jail. Like that alone says it all. This whole system does not. It does not work. It does not make any sense.
I agree. I definitely believe our jail system is too much. I actually think most sentences should be lowered. I don't think in cases like this, but I do think in general, like people are putting in jail for a couple of grams of crack.
Drug dealers are getting like 20 years, and then a pedophile. Like I will never get over it. That a pedophile, most of them 3-4 years, at the most 7 years. Like I don't get it. It's a child that doesn't even understand. A child that doesn't understand anything.
But you know they're not even just molesting one child. That's the one child that came forward.
That's the one that
it's always like it's so hard to catch predators because I think like most of us, we can't even comprehend the evil that is in some people, that they can kill and murder so many people. Like, let's be real. That's why serial killers and all this guy got 2 people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some things are just, you just sitting there like a duck.
And like a 2-year-old child, maybe if you just walk up to her and you grab her private part, she wouldn't even realize that she's being molested to go home and say, oh, mommy, uncle, blah, blah, blah. Like, it might not even, that is the main reason why pedophiles should not get a second chance. Like, unless you're like a child under like 16 years old, no pedophile should get a second chance.
All of them should be sterilized.
It should, yes. That as well.
It should be sterilization or death.
Simple.
It's very easy.
It's very
easy. I feel like it's a very easy choice.
Choose one.
You choose one. You clearly are, because the thing is, just like a lot of these people, because there's something about humans that if something has happened to us, then we do it again. And the thing about sexual abuse and people who are attacking others in this physical way, you are damaging another generation. You're creating the circle. So it's just sterilize or death. People like this need to die. People who are the bombers need to die. Yeah. And then everybody else needs to get a lower jail sentence. Because some of this stuff, you go into jail for 10 years for what?
Yeah.
And even
with the drug dealers, not that and even with the drug dealers, not like I'm encouraging drugs. Drugs are definitely bad. But like if I'm a drug dealer, I don't force you to come and buy from me. That's a habit that you have on your own. Like, why should I go to jail for finding a way to make money to take care of my family? I never forced the drug in your mouth.
Wait,
I'm very that's my opinion.
They shouldn't go to jail at all, or they shouldn't go to jail for
No, I'm not saying that they shouldn't. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that like people are gonna do drugs regardless, and people are gonna find their way to get their drugs. And you're sentencing people for small amount of drugs, tiny amounts for like 20 years. It makes no sense.
Man, that doesn't make sense. 20 years?
No,
you don't want to get caught with any type of
I don't do drugs.
I know, I don't either. But you don't want to get caught with any type of grams. Like it's
like 10 to 20 years. Yeah. So those people need to be lessened. This guy, I don't feel bad at all.
But they even say that sugar, and I'm not encouraging drugs in any. I don't even smoke marijuana. I don't do any kind. I don't even smoke hookah.
I don't even smoke weed.
I don't even smoke hookah. Like I just got invited to Pergola, and I was like, I can't even walk into Pergola because hookah gives me a headache. Anyone that knows me knows that hookah. The smell of it even makes me sick. So I don't do any type of drugs. But they even say the sugar is worse for you than heroin. You know what I mean? Like if you're taking like large amounts of sugar, it will kill you. You know that. But we got soda. We have excessive amounts of, you just take a bottle of soda and you read the amount of sugar in a bottle of soda is like this high. It's like a pile of sugar this high. And they're selling that to us.
Right, so let's go back to the death penalty. Yes. And I feel like there's one aspect of it that we are not talking about, which is the last meal. Because I was reading this. Yes.
The what?
The last meal. If you are given a death penalty, when they're about to let you go and kill you or whatever, they give you an option of having your last meal.
Oh. And you get to pick whatever you want?
You get to pick whatever you want. Let me read this though. Victor was kidnapped. He's 28 years old from Iowa. He kidnapped and murdered someone, and they gave him a death penalty, and this is what he chose to eat the very last time. He ate a single olive with oil around it. Another guy also ordered 12 fried shrimp, buckets of original KFC, and French fries.
What a way to go. That's what I would have had.
Right? What's an olive going to do for you?
Somebody also ordered a steak, fried chicken, cherry, and guess what? Kool-Aid.
Sure.
Kool-Aid. So Ivy, what do you think he should have?
Well, we don't know what he likes.
Meal?
Where was he working before?
Fried plantain. I don't know what he likes.
Was he working? Was he working?
He was working at food processing.
He looks like a mac and cheese kind of guy.
Yeah, he's gonna get burgers and it's called McDonald's.
I mean, what is the point? I wouldn't even eat nothing. I'm like, listen,
just do it anyways.
I killed 5 people. Let me go. Give me water.
You know what I would request?
Let me stay hydrated.
You know what I would request if I could? A hug and a kiss.
From who?
From Leonardo DiCaprio.
I don't think they do that.
That would be the perfect go out. I would just go out in heaven like.
They're saying a meal. Get a meal. You know what I would have ordered? I would have ordered a healthy meal, like vegetables, salmon.
This is your last meal of
I know.
No. Why are you going out healthy? What the hell?
I'm having Haagen-Dazs.
You know we like to eat. Don't play these things.
No, I'm having fun milk.
I like
fufu and a benkwai.
I'm getting
pepper soup. A pepper snail.
No, what I order, they don't have it. Trust me.
They'll find it for you. Anything you want, they'll find it for you.
Yeah,
it's your last. Pepper snail.
Pepper soup.
Fufu and a benkwai.
Fufu, egusi soup, pounded yam. Shito. There's a lot of things now.
Can we relate this to Africa though? Because we're talking about death penalty and it's mostly here. Do you guys think death penalty will work in, let's say, Ghana, Liberia, Ivory Coast? Do you guys think it will work?
They kill people now. What are you talking about? Villagers, they see a crime, they tell all the other people, like, was doing something. Yeah, but they grab them and they kill them. Like, seriously, in the bush. What are you talking about?
Those are not the right way.
They kill in the bush.
In Nigeria, death sentence or death penalty happens. I've seen it as a kid.
Yeah.
I've seen it on TV. It was that bad before. Like where I was living in Sapele, Delta State, there's a very big place in the state. There's a very big open field where they execute people. And then it was terrible. They tie them to poles and they'll bring a reverend father, he will bless you and everything, say your last prayer, and then the soldiers will come. Boom, boom.
No.
That's it. But the thing is, in Africa, or rather in Nigeria, when you are sentenced to death, they do it, in fact, almost the same week.
Yeah.
So how does it happen here that you are on a death sentence and 2 years,
you have to make sure whatever
government money
you have to
and
make sure
everything.
I feel bad in Nigeria because they kill them too quick, and sometimes I feel
like tomorrow.
It's somebody's words. Yeah, they do. They kill them so quick, and they've been proven. There have been, and then sometimes it's politically motivated too. So let's say someone speaks out against the government. Remember the oil? What's that guy? It was several men who spoke out against oil companies in Delta State, and they hung all of them, and they hung them first of all in a terrible way because it wasn't it was crazy, but also they killed them for political reasons. They actually were speaking the truth. So that's what happens in Africa. Like people just either drag you, kill you in the bush, or you see, they do political things, which I think is terrible.
I don't like the way we go around because they take matters into their own hands.
Yes, too
much. This past year, a soldier man was killed in Ghana because somebody yelled out, thief, 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 and then everybody came out and murdered.
They call it jungle justice, and that's very wrong.
Very wrong.
They do it a lot.
And come to find out, he was the nephew of the president of Ghana, and he was like a commander in the army. He was actually in that area to protect the people in that area because there was something going on there, and he was working, but he was off duty in his regular clothes, and he just looked out of place, and he had a gun. So uneducated, just ignorance, just uneducated, ignorant people yelled out. It was just so sad.
See?
It was really so sad.
See?
So, but people will justify that and say that, listen, there have been cases where a man will kill another person, and the cops are now nowhere to be found.
Yeah, the cops are terrible.
The area boys and the area girls will go and do justice.
Yeah.
And so there have been cases where would you justify that because he deserved it? It has to be a proper way. You have to go through the court system, and then when they give you the death penalty.
Do you know these things? Three innocent, I don't know whether they were innocent, but 3 boys in University of Port Harcourt were killed that way a few years ago.
It's so wrong. They burn them with tires.
Exactly. You heard about it.
Yeah,
they put tires on them and they burn them down. Jungle justice.
I have a question. How do you guys think that, like, for example, that he should get death row because it's what he deserves? Or do you think that the person that he killed, that their family is going to feel better? Do you think that death row brings the family closure?
No. I feel like sometimes they don't even want that. Like, there's some good people there that, like, when things happen like this, they'll be like, you know what? Let God handle it. Like, I've forgiven you, so let God handle it. They don't even want... Sometimes they don't even want the person to go through death penalty. They don't. They were like, you know what? I'll let you go. God will handle you. So there are some families.
I do agree with Charlie. You have to feel, because there has to be a point in time where you cannot let this consume you. Because if you're filled with hate, it will affect your whole life.
Yes.
So you have to be like, that's how God wanted her to go out.
Well, that's how I'm feeling.
That's how I have to let this go. I have to let this resentment go. I don't think they feel better that he's on death row because it's going to be so public the day that he dies or the upcoming weeks until he dies, because he has like he has appeals, all this stuff. It's like every single time you're reading the news and you're having a good day, and then suddenly here's this guy who killed my mom or this guy who killed my aunt.
Sometimes you think that doing the eye for an eye thing will make you feel better.
No,
sometimes it doesn't make you feel better. It really doesn't.
That's why I don't go for that. Because this thing happened, was it in Philadelphia? Remember this guy who went live on Facebook and shot an old man on the road? Before they even caught him, the family already said they had forgiven him and all that. They leave it to God.
It will take over you.
Yeah, otherwise you will be the one carrying the burden for the rest of your life.
Oh no, I definitely agree with all of you, but I still think they should die. Like, I know it will feel better, but I'm like, you dude, I can't have you walking around and my aunt's not here because you killed her. Like, come on, you need to go.
And how about the family members for the person that's on death row? How about those family members? Like, God forbid, but if I have a family member on death row and I have to maybe watch them be executed, or even if I don't have to watch it, that because I read an article that because we were going to do this topic, whatever, I looked up some stuff, and there was one where a family member said that it affected all of them. Like, they all had PTSD.
Yeah.
And
you can go crazy.
No matter how much tranquilizers or medication.
But you don't care. She don't care.
Because the way I look at it is, now he already killed one person. Now he's also dead. And then now 5 to 10 people are traumatized by it. That doesn't help society in any way, shape, or form, because now we have 5 to 10 people that are also mentally unstable that can also end up causing harm to even more people.
Yeah.
Well, I think really mentally unstable or just briefly have despair for a week or two.
Funny enough, the problem
you think so? Have you ever been depressed, Ivy?
I have.
Because I've been depressed.
You can get out of it. You can get out of it.
I'm just saying.
It's not easy. It's not easy for years, but you can work through it.
I've been depressed, and thank God that I have like friends, like I have a strong support system that can get you through it. But like, I can look at my situation and look at other people that are in the situation and realize like, okay, this is the reason why people commit crime. So this is the reason why people commit suicide. Like, mental illness like really does exist. I think sometimes we talk about things and we take it lightly, or we're talking about my opinion, your opinion, but you have to really realize that the brain works off chemical balances, and if it's not balanced, then
No, I agree, but so you think everybody would feel better if he just got life in prison? Because he's still getting life.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is that in general, this is just a question from the articles that I read, that when families see their loved ones, friends and family see their loved ones, it can affect them as well.
What about
so what I'm saying is that if
someone,
actually, it shows that most of the time they don't get closure from the death. because nothing brings that person back.
I know.
So most of the time it doesn't, maybe at that moment you want that because you killed my mom, you died too. Yeah. But no matter what, it doesn't bring your mom back.
It's true.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, but even life itself has both sides. Everything has the pros and the cons. There's always the good side of something
it's true.
And the negative effect.
But something has to be done.
It has to be done anyways.
Yeah. And really, if you think about it, it stems from the person who committed the crime's actions. They affected multiple people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the fact that the person's on death row. No. It all stemmed from that person's criminal activity that affected another family. Like, let's say something they did, like they did armed burglary and they accidentally killed somebody when they were robbing their house, or people are going to be affected anyway.
Yes.
Homeboy can't be walking around if so-and-so of mine is dead.
I just want him dead. I mean, listen.
Just roll on. I think, but I do not like how Africa does it, where it's jungle justice and they kill him like this.
No, I don't like
jungle justice. That at all, because a lot of the times they kill the wrong person. Exactly. And the right person, the person you're trying to kill just escaped in the mayhem. I don't like that at all, because even in the United States, even with all of our systems in place, people do get people who are innocent, as in they didn't commit the crime, are put on death row, or they're murdered in prison, or they're somehow in jail, and they didn't do it. So that's after cases, after showing facts and all these things, let alone jungle justice in Africa. I do think there has to be a process, but in a case like this, where it's very, very clear that he killed so-and-so. It's like there's no doubt. So I think in cases where there's no doubt, let's hurry it along, because we have to pay their taxes.
The only reason why I agree with Ivy is I don't think that it's fair for me to be. I don't think that it's fair for me to be paying for somebody to be in jail for 130 years when we know for a fact that he did this, where he's even saying that I want death penalty or whatever. There's no reason why a taxpayer should be paying for him to be in jail.
Yeah, but you can look at it like this as well. They kill him. Where are they going to bury him? The land, it's all like it's done. Everywhere's occupied. Everywhere's occupied. They're not even digging 6 feet anymore. They're digging 3, because the next 3 somebody's there. It's occupied, so we can. Is
that really true? That they're digging?
I just said it.
Don't mind him.
Really?
I just said it.
That's a lie.
But I'm saying you could argue on both sides, and I was just trying to do that. But good luck to him, and
good luck to him.
And I wonder what he's going to.
Because he hasn't been sentenced yet or put on death penalty yet.
So can I ask you a question, Ivy? Have you ever been invited to be a member of the jury?
No, because I have, but then once I tell them I'm a lawyer, they don't.
They don't allow lawyers. Okay.
I can't say mine on air because.
Have you?
They invite me all the time. I never reply to the mail.
Oh, they're watching. You better be careful.
You better be careful.
You better be careful.
Have you? Answer. Have you?
I'll let you know next time, right here on ABS. You're watching MinaTV.
Thanks for watching. And if you liked this episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.